Hi there. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, you're with... Right. Yeah, the bridal party for... Perfect. Love that. I love that you guys are getting ahead of the bridal season, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to be doing today is I've got my handy little tablet here. I'm just going to be taking down some of your information to be able to make sure that we get a dress that both fits the vibe of the wedding and also is something that's going to work for you as well. So we do have some information from the bride, but I understand that you guys are pretty close. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, I always love my job, but I love when I get to hear about how like people met and stuff like that. It's always so cute to hear like all the stories. Yeah. Did she let you know the like planned colors, like the color palette for the wedding? I figure she did. Okay. Perfect. So you already know like kind of the general vibe of the wedding. Perfect. So let's get started. I just want to give you a heads up. We're not doing any sort of measurements today. We're not doing like any kind of tailoring or trying on of dresses. We're actually just going to talk about like what suits you and what you feel comfortable in, and really just kind of making sure that we can either find something with you in mind that's already made, or if we do need to modify like an existing garment, we could do that for you. How's that sound? Great. Yeah, it's a very different approach than some other stores where, you know, you just kind of try on a garment, hope it fits, and it doesn't. Then you have to pay for the alterations, or the color looks different in person, or just there's a lot of things that can kind of go wrong. So to make sure I have you here, can I have you give me your first and last name and just spell it for me as well? We just like to make sure it's spelled right. Okay. Perfect. And then also, can I have you just verify your zip code? That's all we need. Perfect. Got that. Okay. And then for the garment itself, is there anything that you absolutely refuse to wear? Like some folks won't wear strapless, some people hate halter tops, spaghetti straps. Like, is there anything that's just a complete no-go for you? Obviously, in the realm of wedding garments, usually we have bridesmaids who decide to wear like a dress or a skirt and a top, or even pants and a top. We try to keep it really up to you what kind of garment you'll feel best in, but is there anything that you do not want to see? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty relatable. Okay, perfect. Now, when thinking about like maybe weddings you've been to in the past, weddings you've been a part of in the past, was there anything about those garments that were particularly comfortable? Okay. Yeah, I'd say the number one thing we have is folks looking for pockets. I mean, in this day and age, like everyone has like their phone on them or needs to have something on them at all times. So I totally get it. Pockets are where it's at. Okay. All right. Anything else about the garment that you thought was great? Oh, okay. Perfect. Now, with any weddings you've been a part of in the past, either as a guest or bridesmaid or whatever, was there anything that stood out to you as something you wanted to try but didn't? Okay. Yeah, like sometimes you see, you know, like a color that looks good on someone else and you're like, oh, I should have tried that. Okay. And now, similarly, with the colors of the wedding palette, are there any colors from that wedding palette that you do not like? Okay. Yeah. I do like when a color palette is pretty well thought out, and it seems like this one's pretty good. Okay. Perfect. And then, let's see, this is usually a pretty easy question, but have you ever had a color analysis done? And if so, what kind of analysis was it? Like, was it a winter, spring, or something like that? Oh, okay. Yeah, there's like apps for it these days. I've never used them though. Okay. Then, let's see. So, as far as a garment, are you looking for a dress, skirt and a top, pants, coat? What are you looking for? Okay. And then, let's see, have you ever been professionally measured before? Okay. Now, have you ever had a garment altered in the past? Okay. And then, let's see here. As far as the wedding, we know that it's going to be, right, yeah. So based on when the wedding is there like a certain length of garment you'd like? Okay. Yeah, like some folks aren't really comfortable with like T length or knee length. And I mean, typically for a wedding, you don't see a lot of like mini skirt options, at least for the ceremony. Sometimes people have like a detachable skirt, so that way for the ceremony, like it's, you know, a little longer, a little more demure, very mindful. But then after they like kind of take that extra skirt off and it's more of like a mini skirt kind of option. Yeah, that's absolutely something that we can do if someone's interested in that. Okay, now let's talk accessories. So with accessories, what I mean by that is like shawls, bags, headbands, things like that. For things like that, do you prefer gold, silver, or rose gold? Okay. Yeah, it's just good for us to know. All right, now let's talk about necklines. So with the neckline of a garment, do you want it to be more of like the straight across, more of like kind of the sweetheart neckline, scoop, deep V? Yeah, really it's all about what you prefer. Okay. Perfect. Love that. And then as far as undergarment options, I know this can be kind of a touchy subject, so you're welcome to let me know if it's too deep of a question. But for undergarments, is it something that you would prefer to have like full undergarments, like, you know, a standard bra, or are you okay with a strapless, no bra, built-in cups, things like that? Okay. And then similarly for like bottom garments, are you someone who's going to be, you know, wearing like Spanx or compression socks or anything like that that you want us to kind of make sure that it isn't seen? Okay. Fantastic. Now, this is kind of the fun part for me. Okay. Think about when you were a kid. Did you ever picture like a fairy tale like outfit for you, like whether that was, you know, a ball gown or, you know, like a knight in shining armor kind of, you know, suit for you. Tell me about what that was like for you. Yeah, we're not necessarily modeling your garment after that. We just kind of like to get a feel for like how that was for you. Oh, okay. Yeah, like sometimes it's based on like a movie you loved as a kid. Like for me, I loved Belle's Dress and Beauty and the Beast. So like that was my favorite. Yeah, all her dresses were so cool. Okay, perfect. All right, so then as far as hair, do you know if you're going to have like a certain hair color? Like, is this your hair color you're going to be going with for the wedding? Okay. And yeah, it's fine if it's undecided. We just like to know. It helps us with like color planning and things like that. Okay, now, similarly to some of the questions, what makes you feel uncomfortable in a garment? Okay. Yeah, like if it's ill-fitting, itchy, things like that. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's one that doesn't come up very often, but I agree. Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. So we're almost to the end. Do you prefer, for the closure of your garment, do you prefer it to have a zipper, buttons, corset back, just like something that goes over the head? We also have, you know, like halter styles that you tie. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Very fair. Okay. All right, perfect. I think we're just about to the end of these questions here, and then we can kind of start like brainstorming what it'll look like. But, okay, now as far as the wedding goes, I know that it's at, right, okay, you know the venue and the time and everything. Great. So as far as that venue, we can actually plan to deliver your dress to the venue. Well, your dress or your garment, whatever you choose to have. We can choose to deliver it to the venue. That way it's ready to go. Is it something you would want to keep at home or something you'd want us to deliver day of? Okay. Yeah, you'd still have all of your fittings and measurements and make sure that, you know, the garment fits just how you would like for it to fit. But then we would just have it delivered to the venue on that day. That way you don't have to worry about storing it. Some people have pets or kids or things like that they don't want to have like a fancy garment beforehand. Yeah. Okay, perfect. And now the bride who coordinated this, she asked us to let you know that she will be paying for the garment. I know, so generous. And that includes any sort of alteration. So typically what we do is we have a few, like what we call like base model options. And then what we do is we actually modify them to fit you. So to fit you both in your size, but also to fit you in personality. So really making sure that your personality comes through in the garment. So with that in mind, is there anything that you would like to see on the garment? So some people like to see, you know, we've got like some flowers, or some people like stars or things like that. Like, is there anything you kind of want us to use as like personalizing your garment? I love that. That's wonderful. Yeah, she was very sweet to coordinate all of this with us, so I really like that. Yeah. Okay, so what I will do based on this information here is I'm going to come up with some options for like what we call, again, like the base model. So kind of like our jumping off point of what I would like to provide to you as like kind of rough sketches. And then we kind of go from there. So it might look a little basic, not quite stick figure, but pretty basic, like A-line skirt, tiered pants, like very basic things. But you'll be able to kind of get a feel for how it'll look. And so then from there, we kind of build on that. So with that in mind, what's the best way for us to contact you? Is it email, text message? Okay. And then can I have you just give that to me one more time, just to make sure we have it on file? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I will get right on this. And then what I will do is I will send the kind of rough drafts to you. I usually send 3 options. So that way you can kind of rank them like best, mid, worst. So that way it kind of helps us kind of steer in the right direction of like, okay, I like this, but not that. And so that way we can go from there. And don't worry, if you're indecisive, you can definitely talk it out with me. I'm here to work with you. So, and we'll really make sure that you get the garment that's just perfect for you. Right. Okay. Well, thank you for coming in today. I'm really appreciative of your time. And I hope this was fun, but I will be in touch with you soon to send you those rough drafts, okay? Awesome. I'll show you out.